Okay, here we go. So yeah, I don't know. The last previous 30 minutes of it of this was, doubled audio. But what I was referring to sort of carries over too. It carries over in some sort of way. I don't like the way people go about certain things. I really don't like people who are straight up just disrespectful all the time, right? They don't have anything good to say. They never say anything positive, and they essentially try to insult you like 24/7, right? I just gotta like take a step back from that sort of thing. I can't be around that at all. I really cannot. I'll sit here and I'll think like there is no way in hell that I'm gonna do this sort of thing, right? That's completely fine. That's completely fine for a person to feel that way. But like you sit and you look at other people and they share with you their opinions and you start to think, are you just like stupid? Are you just dumb? Like you start to look like, is this person just stupid? I just have no idea. And I'm not very judgmental either to begin with. So I sit and wonder, you know, is this person being overly aggressive for no reason towards me just for a joke? Wouldn't that just be the dumbest thing to do? And it ends up being that almost every time, which is just like horrible. It's a horrible sensibility to have, truly. I got the potato. I just really don't like how the audio didn't work at first. It made me so unhappy, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. I am still like talking about something. There's other things on the list of docket, even on the script here. Let me look through the script here. Looking through the script. Um, but yeah, overly aggressive. Redditor Andy. That was like the first topic for today because I ran into that. You run into like that incel sensibility, or even like Chad, Chad and Stacy. Like just because said it was okay, this is what I'm gonna do to you. No, no, you're not. Please don't. Like, just dear God, don't. Right? But it ends up being like that sometimes. At least I feel that way. Running into the girl, right? But I can't really like say anything to that prospect at all because the boundaries of like a man are completely different than like ones that a woman has. You know, because if a girl is being like overly aggressive, I think that's kind of cute. It's kind of like all right, you know. But if it's like a dude, you have like you might be like socially awkward psychopath. And I don't know if I'm wrong for not feeling that way or feeling that way. at all. But I agree, you know, that's something to agree with for sure. You might be like, please don't start acting like it doesn't matter, you know? Because it does. It really does. And I get irritating with that, like, that sensibility too, because, you know, in order to, like, justify certain things, people act or say or do or behave in a certain way. And I don't know. It doesn't fly with me. It doesn't. But it's not like I'm not open and receptive to new things at all. It's just like more discussion about, I guess, the standard of interaction. Like, if you can't hold a discussion with me at all, why would I talk to you? You know, you don't hold a proper discussion at all. You can't take you to dinner. I can't take Redditor Andy out to dinner. I don't want to begin with. And then like, okay, there's a certain like way of talking about it, but I don't want to take Redditor Andy out to dinner, okay, with me. But I've had like persistent like pain, like someone just like walks up and decides to say, do, or act however they want to towards me. And I'm just like not, I just absolutely, I'm, how unacceptable. How absolutely unacceptable of you. How very, a very potion maker of you. How very wizardry. It's like a guy, it's like stirring a pot. Oh, a very potion maker. Here, drink this. It just makes you overly aggressive animal of a person. That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get to begin with. Don't drink that. It's stupid juice. And that's what I feel like too. Like you're talking about stupid juice to me. That's juice that makes you stupid. That's a potion from a wizard that turns you into a frog. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No, never mind. That's the potion from the wizard that kills you. Which I probably drink right about now. Not even gonna lie. That's how I feel too. And like persistent pain and comments and like a lack of understanding or a social system or a social support system rather. It'll have a person feeling and thinking that way. Like that there's no one out there like to help them or even to be their friend, you know? And that's not something you want to like, I guess, get used to at all. But essentially it is, you know, it is in that repetitive nature and how aggressive. people can be too. It's the same exact way for pretty much everyone, especially if that's what's happening, you know? Um, and I don't really agree with that sort of a targeting or the way that like things are for certain people. It can just, I don't know, maybe the difference between someone having a good day or a bad day. And that changes in a matter of moments, really. The whole, you know, this should have been said or this shouldn't have been said thing. And then people are gone and you can't get back that time at all. Just ends up being lost. And I'm really not one for that sort of thing. Just because uh geez, like what would I look like if my last statement to you was something just like absolutely dumb, right? And I always think about that. Is this person really saying this to me? You know, and it's just because under that frame of mind, like universally, people don't really care, you know? And they should, at least around me. Like I won't allow people to be around me that don't have a standard. I won't have that sort of thing around me at all. I'll just say, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and just be like, you're done. See you later. I don't care what you have to say. Right. But I don't know. I guess people can get a little strange with the whole thing. Like they start thinking and feeling in some sort of way that is just against the belief system of, say, the majority or even another person. You know, um, you're running into those like certain types that like just don't have boundaries at all. They don't care. They don't have boundaries. They couldn't give less of a hoot about anything. And I'm really not with that. I mean, it damages my work. It makes me not want to do art. It makes me not want to have like an internal prerequisite for these sorts of things. Like, am I really wrong for the way that I feel? I know I'm not, you know? And it's okay. You should be like sure of yourself all the time. That's the best advice I can offer. Just be very sure of yourself because, at the end of the day, even if someone doesn't get what you do or how you feel, or, if you feel overlooked in some way, um, just knowing that, like, that's what you wanted to do, you know? That's how I feel. No one else is going to do anything for you. You're going to have to do it yourself. And that's exactly like how like great things are made. It's not even a discussion about like the nature of was this okay? Was this not okay? You know, as long as it didn't hurt anyone, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be okay, right? But I get hurt all the time. So I get hurt all the time. I went to a job interview today and someone was just screaming at me the entire time. I was wondering, I was like, why is this happening to me? I mean, the job interview went good. I talked to the woman. She was the head chef of like a business that was opening. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I'm answering your questions. I'm communicating properly. But just in the back of my mind is just someone just like having a full conniption, just like a tantrum the entire time. And I'm wondering, I'm like, do I really have to go through this right now? Is this really what the, it's really what I set out to do with my life here? Was deal with whoever this is. I, I don't know. And I get mad about that. Like, why do I even have to deal with the way that you are? You know? If I don't want to be around you, I hate that sort of thing. You can't force me to be like, can't force me to be something I'm not to begin with. And you shouldn't want to force anyone to do anything, ever. That's sort of like the whole prospect of the propensity for human change. Just, the free will and choice of just making like a connection with anything, with like say food, people, I mean a number of other examples, but being within the world, actually, it'll teach you that. It'll teach you those like things about it. Because it can be so weird. You have no idea. I've been in some very weird situations before. Like here's this one story. This one time I was at the casino. I have this story. It's on the script here. This one time I was at the casino and all of my friends were there and they all sort of turned against me and then they left me. They left me at the casino. I wasn't even gambling. I I don't like gambling, okay? But they left me. They left me there and I was so mad for the longest time. I was like, why did you do this? Then I just had to realize, like, okay, well, these people weren't actually my friends to begin with. But they like see me years later and it'll be like, I'll bring up that casino thing. I'll bring it up. Like you left me, you literally drove off in the middle of nowhere and I'm in the casino and that's like the worst place to be because it's always it's always the casino. Have you noticed that the casino is open 24 hours and it's always the casino? Like there's bright lights, colors, like it has to be like the worst thing I've ever gone through. And I like to imagine it wasn't that way for my friends to realize that like that was like the wrong thing to do. But that's what happened to me, straight up. And just with that being said, I don't even keep that many friends around me to begin with. I don't know if you know how I feel with that like prospect, but it's hard to find good people that like will respect you, have your boundaries in mind, and they won't do something just horrible to you that's like backhanded. And I haven't run into that very frequently at all. But It is one of those things. I don't know though. That being said, uh, the only reason to go to the casino is that they have like free soda. They have free soda. Sometimes, sometimes you win some money, right? But I don't recommend gambling, especially in this economy. This day and age, this day and age, the job market is not in a good place, and just believe me, you don't want to gamble your money away. You want to do something else with that for sure. But down the listen docket of things on the script today. Um, weird clips from the internet. Do you like those? I have like a whole playlist of like YouTube clips, and some of them are just like videos of birds. Other times it's something else. But even like police killings and stuff like that. I don't like those sorts of things. That's like very violent. But I don't know. I just point them out in case like there's like someone like investigating these videos in some way. Like maybe you should take a look at these as well. But there are just like a few things that like actually like bring me joy within that sort of sensibility or the way that those things are. And I'll use clips from like videos. I'll save them so that they're more appealing to me later on. Like you can't watch something 100% of the time and then have it be the most appealing thing to you. You know, it'll just get old. You know, you don't want to like get bored at all. So I don't know. Sometimes I save things uh, just to like watch them later and laugh at it. Just the weirdest things. I just don't know. Like that one clip of that guy, that crisis actor, that Arby's guy. That's always funny to me. And he shows up in other places, and you realize he's like a crisis actor. But that wasn't how it was before. I thought that was weird. Weird, and also I thought it was real for the longest time. But I don't know. Sorry, I figured the puzzle out. I figured it out. Don't worry. It's a. It's gonna have to flip up, and then I gotta shoot this over here. So, but yeah, like I don't know if you understand how I feel, person, person or viewer. But this is a video game for sure. This is one of the video games of all time. Other things I enjoy. Um, describing people as if they're flowers. Isn't that great? Like if everyone's beautiful in some way, I guess you'd be like a flower, right? But think about it. I'm more of like I'm like a dandelion because I'm, I don't know, I think I'm annoying. People try to get rid of me somewhat. But yeah, I mean, not many people in that way. But if you're a dandelion kind of guy, you get what I'm saying. Like, not many friends. People always trying to kill you. But I think that's like the value in human life, actually. So that everyone's different and you should respect that from like just a base level. And with that understanding, if you compare people to flowers, I mean, that's honestly kind of nice, right? At least that's how I feel. But like, just living in the world will have you thinking that that's like not the sensibility. And I know I said that before, but it's like not the feeling you should have about it. But I do every time. I'm just like, I'm so gung ho about that. Like, please get into valuing other people's time. Please get into valuing my time, right? And that is like the difference because you can tell when someone's like not listening to you. You can tell when someone isn't paying attention or not, you know, in their right mind to even like really be a good judgment of what you're doing. Because essentially they don't care for some reason. But I don't know. I'm like I'm like a dandelion because someone tried to kill me with their lawnmower. So in hell, a lawnmower, someone got a lawnmower, try to kill me. You can't kill me. I'm impervious. I'm impervious to kill move. I only died of bullets. And even then, I've been shot at before. Maybe I should tell that story. I will eventually. But yeah, I've been shot at before. I've had people pull guns on me and then um double back on their reasoning about it. Like, and what's so interesting about that is that like when you get a gun pulled on you and it's like some sort of dangerous like situation, like oh you might get shot. I liked how I wasn't scared at all of the situation, just because in my mind, like if I'm gonna die, finally, right? Finally, it's my time to die, right? But no, it wasn't like that. I was actually kind of scared. I had been going through like a lot. I've been going through like a lot at the time, and I'm normally not one for like any sort of danger or like weapons. I don't like guns at all. I know how to like I can hit a target from say 300 meters with like wind direction and everything, but I'm I really don't support guns at all because of what they do, how they are, you know. But um, that being said, there's a lot that happens in the outside world for sure. Like you'll be around someone and it'll be a completely different discussion or topic about the entirety of like what safety is. It can get it can get very unsafe with the wrong people around you. And I'm normally not one for that because one, I don't like people to begin with. It's hard to be my friend. And two, the dude who pulled the gun on me was just like some hyper aggressive freak. So he was like some freakazoid guy with like an emotional issue. And like that is becoming so much more common to me that I run into people that like that. Like even women, it seems. But like a guy with a gun is much different than say like a woman that like sort of is like very mean for no reason. So like I'll allow that. I'll allow that forever. I don't even care. Whatever you say, you know? Like but don't like pull an actual weapon on me and then try to justify it. That's happened. That's how it is the film with like certain people. Then you run into like a dude who just doesn't get it either. Here is guy who doesn't get it, just making all the wrong decisions for no reason whatsoever. And you kind of just let that be, right? At least I do. I can't have, you know, someone be that way around me at all. Please don't take the aggressive route. Please don't, say, do, or act in a certain way. That is like, that will hurt me in the end, right? And it ends up being that every time. So you're just like not my friend at that point. No, but yeah, the guy was like, he was in a car and he had a gun underneath the seat and like he saw me and I made eye contact with him for, too long or something. The guy got intimidated and he pops out of the car, right? And he's like already ready to pull his gun on me. And then you think like you really are that aggressive that like you're just gonna you're gonna do that like it's nothing, right? And I'm not gonna call the police for anything. That's one issue that I have. I don't trust police. I mean, in this day and age, who does? But still, I mean, whatever. Just let the guy get away with it, right? I just don't want to be anywhere near that sort of thing. And it ends up happening to you. I don't want to be anywhere near something like that. And then it ends up like, here's a guy and he shoots you, you know? Can't wait for can't wait for that, right? Steven Steven drug dealer Jeffrey to finally get his 2 cents in, right? I don't know. Here's a I don't know. And then like with that sort of comparison, then you live your entire life being a good person and you never get any of the good karma from being a good person. Some people don't. And that actually makes me upset. Because I feel like good people should have good things happen to them and vice versa. And that's just like a firm thing to live by. I don't think anyone's could really disagree. That isn't the way that the world is. And also, like, the need for money and the way that things happen, it sort of can be like so evil. The transaction, even. Money can be used for a good purpose, or it can be just the most evil thing ever to exist. And I feel that way intermittent within my life, actually, because not only is it always an issue, it's always an issue that you never have it, but it's also been the only reason that I've ever felt pain, right? Well, not the only reason. And there's physical pain. But what I'm getting at is like, it's been a huge issue in my life for as long as I can remember. And it is for a lot of people. It is just because of the way that the world is. But just like maintaining some like hope against that sort of reasoning. Because not everything is that. Do you think Michelangelo would have painted the Sistine Chapel if it, you know, for up to only that payment of 500 ducats from the Pope? No, he started it beforehand, right? Then he went to go get it, but still, it's because he needed food to survive. But I don't know. I feel that way so often, sometimes, where that is the difference, essentially, with me. Is that not everything revolves essentially around currency. It doesn't revolve around money or Shatter Stacy or even you know, drug dealer Philip with the gun that almost shoots me. And then this video is made. But it sort of like revolves around whatever that energy in the world is to begin with. There's so many people, 8 billion people. I met a few. That's just kind of a good thing to be aware. just be aware. There's value in other things. So it's not just like your paycheck at the end of the day. And a lot of people will see it that way too. That's not to say don't focus on your goals at all, but it isn't everything. I can tell you why it's not. Because at the end of the day, if you don't ever accomplish anything or set out to like explore how you feel about certain topics and share that with other people and be like a genuine person, then you really don't have anything. Even with all the money in the world, you end up just being Midas frozen. So, but yeah, I mean, stress, bills, the way that people are, too, isn't something to downtrot either, essentially. Because even I get stressed out. Even I have things. That is so funny to me. Even I have things that I need to pay for and bills. I try not to get too stressed out, even with like the way my life is. 'Cause I am sort of right now. So yeah, I don't know. Puzzle is difficult, to be honest with you. Or maybe like fall and then take that upwards, or I don't know. I do not know why this is this way. I do not know. I have like so many things about me. So old to just beyond old. And it gets to be like a lot. Not having like a like-minded uh peer group at all. Essentially, that isn't what you want to happen at all, right? To like not have people to share those feelings with, and you end up like sort of socially centered in loneliness, and sometimes that's an art. Sometimes that is an art, right? An almost art. I feel like there's an easy way to do this. Might be missing like a wall or something. But I don't know if you get it. You can or you can't. I'm not gonna force you to believe the same thing I do at all. That sort of is like the difference between that. The difference between even certain people who act a certain way. Like, is this person gonna be cool? Please be cool. Oh, looks like you're not gonna be cool. Looks like looks like this guy's taking a more aggressive route today. That's what it ends up being. But I don't know. Sort of just get over yourself and I make the best of certain things, and that'll be it. Okay? Make the best of what's going on at all times. Because I'm sure like people are much more helpful in that way. They're much more fun to be around, and it can be much more helpful if you have like just a good way of being about it, about everything. I want to know, maybe this works right here. I kind of like this idea. Hold on. That's not to say, like there isn't a negative portion of like my mind because I can be so mean too. You have no idea. I can be like the really irritating guy who sort of has like that opinion that you can't really correct. I'm not focused on being correct all the time, but I am one of those people that you don't want to like upset because I'll sit there and tell you like why you're wrong about something. I'll be like, here's why you're wrong, and here are 50 different points, and also how I feel. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to deal with. But yeah, I don't know. None of that going on.